access and power and privilege and depression and disadvantage in how we navigate our lives.
So was there a light bulb moment that you'd had educated yourself on this, read about it and thought, hey, I so identify with this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's been on my mind for many, many, many years. And actually, in my moments of what psychiatry would define as madness, in my state of euphoria, I live with, bipolar disorder as defined by medicine, by psychiatry, and complex post-traumatic stress disorder, both of which are a direct result of social and structural conditions and oppressions, relational and systemic violence and trauma in my life. There's no brain chemical imbalance. It's a complete farce and myth by the medical world, predominantly. There are some people that have a genetic component. But in my states of madness, I see clarity. And so when I'm entering states of, heightened mood or, mania as defined by psychiatry, in the past, I've started to drop the lenses that I've been trained and socialized in as a human being, in seeing the world, at the time as a gay, white man. And I started feeling a dysphoria with that experience. I didn't feel like I fit into any of those kind of particular social locations. So I started asking people to call me Matthew or Mash, and basically, telling people that I didn't feel like I was any one particular gender, and that gender was a social construct. And, yes, I might have, sex characteristics associated with being a male, but that's different to how I express my gender identity. So in those states of madness, I found clarity, and that's carried with me after kind of 4 or 5 years in finally, feeling and vibing the courage to be who I am, which is really hard to do in an oppressive and violent world. Yeah.
Yeah, I think do you think you've used your trauma to move you forward in a positive way though? Like I follow a guy, he's the toughest Navy SEAL in the US, David Goggins, and he talks about his PTSD and his trauma from childhood to make him the toughest man on earth. Yeah. So I believe that these experiences can either make you or break you, right? You can either use them.
Yeah, and everything in between, again, it's like binaries. It's like, why does something have to make and break you? Why can't it do both? I've been broken and I've made it. You know what I mean? Like life is the complexities in paradox. And I think as human beings, it's yes or no. It's very hard to do maybe. It's hard to do grey because we're always trying to box things and label things, social labeling theory. We're trying to make sense